Welcome to my October Empties video. Alright, I told you I had some long books coming. Get ready. Kablamo! I read 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. This book was excellent. It was crazy. It was a real page turner, I'll tell you what, even though it's so long. It's like 1,100 pages. Look, to you Sarah J. Maas girls, that might be nothing, but longest book I've read in a while. Okay. And I would really recommend it, but I would say look up trigger warnings if you read it, because there's some crazy stuff in there. Almost like hard to define by trigger warnings, but you know, it's worth looking it up, I guess. And then perhaps you predicted this, but I also read Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. I watched the movies, as you know. I felt like reading the books. I've listened to the audiobooks in high school, but it's been a little while, and seen the movie a couple times. Now I'm rereading the books. I think I'm finally starting to understand what happens in this story. I have a lot of movies in here. Many of them are Halloween movies or scary movies. I watched Alien. This is a story about men pissing me off. This was a rewatch, as you would know if you watched last year's October Empties. This movie is phenomenal, and it's just a little bit more heartwarming than it is upsetting, and that's why it works. I think they could have just let the cat be American. Another Halloween rewatch. It's original, it's complex, it's curly. It's great. This is the old one. Dagan and I watched this in a movie theater with live piano, and it was a sleigh. I'm skipping one for now for reasons that you'll understand later, but this is where it would go. And then we watched Liar Liar. This is a Jim Carrey movie. He wiggles, you know what I mean? And Dagan said something really interesting about this, about how like his physicality in the movie, he's like cursed, and the physicality that he does kind of gives a persona to the curse. I thought that was smart. I feel like, and it's probably been said, Spider-Verse is having like an effect on animated movies that they're just making them so beautiful, and I'm very supportive of that. I think if every animated movie was inspired by Spider-Verse, then that'd be great. This movie posits that in a land full of monsters and magical creatures that everybody would talk like Rodney Dangerfield and love puns. On to TV shows. Peacemaker season 2. This was stressful, but the theme song bangs. Now here we have Steven Universe. Steven Universe the movie. That's the movie from before. And Steven Universe Future, the reboot show. Finished all of these this month. I was astounded by this show. It was so well done. It was obvious that like so much lore and plot and stuff was planned from the beginning. Like it was very thought through and very rewarding, you know, payoffs the later you get in the show. So good. The reboot show was a little bit of a bummer for my taste, but I respect their right to do that. But I was like, man, used to be a little kid, a cute little kid with a hamburger backpack. New Dimension 20 season. I thought this was great. It's honestly not topping any charts for me because there's so many amazing seasons already of this show, but a main cast season just feels amazing when they're all together in one room. It's just right, and it was great. In the end, would I say that their flag really did mean death? Sometimes. I had a dream about Vico Ortiz, that their dad was being transphobic to them, and I was trying to convince him to support them. So, sorry to Vico that I made your dad transphobic in my dream. All right, we've got just a few goops for you this month. I know you've gotten used to the luxury of having several goops every month. This is a hotel conditioner. I guess I travel, you know what I mean? And I use a lot of conditioner also. So here's this. The lighting is crazy in here. Sorry about that. It's so bright. Okay, hotel conditioner. Got my hair soft. I finished a hand sanitizer, which is rare for me. I don't use that much hand sanitizer, so I was very excited to finish that. And lastly, look, I thought this was a lotion until I discovered that it was a hair product. So, because stuff doesn't say on it. It says, what does it say? Smoothing cream. Maybe I should have known. Smoothing your skin. I don't know. But it says smoothing cream. It says moisturizing. It doesn't, and aloe. That goes on your skin. You know what I mean? Like goops need to be labeled. I get confused, okay? But I did put most of this in my hair, but some of it on my face. And honestly, it was fine either way. But it smells like a hair product. Does that make sense? And then there's only one little sort of other item, which is this beer. My dad helped me with this one. Is a pumpkin ale. Oh, what does it say? Elysian Night Owl. This was great, okay? It was like on the bitter side of what I have had of beer, but the like flavoring kind of made it nice. And it was like a very autumnal flavor, but it wasn't too candly. Do you know what I mean? When stuff tastes like a candle. So so I thought it was great. I would recommend that for sure for an autumnal beverage. And thank you so much for watching my October Empties video. I'll see you on December 1st for the November Empties. You know I'm going to be emptying some pies. Am I right? Okay. Have a great month.